We recently got the new GTA Online Los Santos Mercenaries DLC for GTA Online, and while I don't think it's a bad update at all, I think what was added was good. I don't think anything was bad as such, but I still think it was disappointing since I don't think there's been a really good GTA Online update since the Cayo Perico heist for the game. Now, of course, the Cayo Perico heist, we're probably never going to get anything like that. That was a massive update, the biggest ever GTA Online update, and probably will always be the biggest GTA Online update. It was huge. It added a new location to the game, and it was really popular, and it did really well. It was the most successful GTA Online update of all time. It was massive, and you can't really expect anything to be as big as that, but I don't think any of the recent GTA Online updates have been to the scale as what we used to get, which is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Because I think the GTA Online updates are getting, well, boring. And I don't think this is a bad thing. I do want to make that clear. Obviously, we are, moving forwards with GTA in terms of new games and just the way the game is these days. But I do just want to talk about how I think this update is a bit boring, to be honest, and yeah, just isn't as good as what we have seen in previous years. Now, right now, I'm at the gun van, which has nothing to do at all with this new update. Now, I'm going to go over, first of all, what was added with this new GTA Online Los Santos Mercenaries DLC. So, first of all, you got this vehicle right here. This is new with the new updates. And then, of course, where the main new content is with the Avenger, and I'll call him my Avenger now, so we can go ahead and do this. Now, I haven't played every single mission that has been added since I believe there's about 12, I want to say 12, about 6 to 12 new missions, and yeah, I'll go into the Avenger and I'll show you what this is all about. So I just have to reverse up this entire hill, which is pretty annoying. But either way, once we're up here, I'll go over to that Avenger and I'll show you. And now, of course, this isn't the only new content. We got this vehicle, we got a couple other vehicles, we got a new SMG, and we also got a new jet, which is always cool. A new jet's going to be cool. We haven't really had anything like that in a long time, so that is something fresh, which I really like. I like the idea of a new jet in the game. They're always my favourite vehicles to use within GTA Online. I don't think there's anything much better than a dogfight in GTA. I think that's always good fun. So yeah, no complaints there. And this new vehicle's alright, pretty standard. I wouldn't really use it that much, to be honest with you, but I just bought it anyway, since why not? And yeah, so the main new content is within the Avenger. So I'll go in there right now into the back of the Avenger and show you what we have in terms of new content with the Mercenaries DLC. And this is really where the update is, and this is what it's all about, to be honest. So for about 1.2 million, I believe, if I'm correct, you can get the operations terminal in your Avenger, and this gets the Merryweather and also the Los Santos Angels, the Project Overthrow, and the LS operations missions. So you get all of this. These are the actually, to be fair, I have no idea what these are. These are basically, I believe, oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, I remember now. These are just basic missions that you can do, and of course you've got the rewards there. And then of course you have the main projects here, where you get 6 missions. So yeah, this is the main content really, and I'm currently on this one, and actually, I believe I completed this where you have to do the flight test, whatever. Okay, well, looks like I'm gonna have to do that again. That's great. So yeah, this is basically what you get in terms of the new content. Now, I don't think it's bad. I think the missions I've done so far have been really fun. I've really enjoyed them. I think there's some decent content in the game, but it isn't much, to be honest with you. To wait all that time for all this isn't loads, but of course for a game that's 10 years old and still receiving content updates is really impressive. I respect Rockstar for doing that. That's really good. You're really getting your money's worth with GTA Online, that is for sure. But of course, I think we all know where their focus has switched. Of course, most of their workers will be moving on to work on Grand Theft Auto 6, the new up and coming game. Now, I do want to talk as well about drip-fed content. Now, when it comes to recent GTA Online updates, and once again, since Cayo Perico, to be honest, I don't think Cayo Perico really was affected by this, but after Cayo Perico, pretty much every single update, we've barely got anything on release day. So when this update did release, we got, a couple vehicles and everything like that, and I think the update that had this the worst was the Criminal Enterprises update, where barely anything is released on release day, and basically, so drip-fed content is where items are added to the game in the game files, but aren't actually set public to players until later on, and they slowly drip content into the game, and yeah, you just slowly get new stuff that is still part of that main DLC. It's just added at a later date slowly every week, and basically Rockstar every single week adds something new, whether that's a new vehicle, a new weapon, or something like that, slowly into the game. And it's sort of got to the point now where barely anything gets released on the day the update does arrive, and you're just waiting weeks, and sometimes you're waiting about 5 or 6 months for a certain vehicle to release into the game because they save the best till last or something like that. For example, something with I do think there's some examples of good drip-fed content. It was maybe with the first dose missions, and then we got the last dose missions with the previous Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. That wasn't bad. I think that was alright. But in terms of adding loads and loads of stuff at a later date, you know, 13 vehicles is a bit excessive in my opinion to just be saving and saving. And then of course with this DLC we got about 200 vehicles removed from the game, which I think is outrageous, but I'm not going to go into that in detail. I just think, yeah, to have all those vehicles removed and then probably put behind a paywall is pretty ridiculous from Rockstar. But either way, I won't go into that in this video or in any video, to be honest. That would just be me ranting the whole time. But yeah, it is disappointing in my opinion that Rockstar have used so much drip-fed content. I don't think drip-fed content is a bad idea. I think it is a good idea. It keeps players coming back every week. It makes sense to utilize it. But I think Rockstar have gone a bit too far with it, and they just use it too much. And of course, they just want people coming back and back to the game. And they also want people to get GTA Plus on the next-gen consoles, since of course some of the drip-fed content is locked behind that for a certain amount of time, or forever in some cases, which is of course always going to be disappointing to see. And yeah, I'm not a fan of GTA Plus at all. I do think it's not actually that bad of a deal for what you do get with it. I think it's not that bad, but I don't think you should be having people pay for a monthly subscription on a video game that they've already purchased, in my opinion. That's just my view on it anyway. But yeah, either way, I think drip-fed content is annoying, but of course, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think Rockstar utilize it far too much. And yeah, I do think that the scale and the enjoyment of updates has been nowhere near as fun since Cayo Perico. Now, of course, that did set the bar really, really high, and maybe our standards and expectations are just too high since the Cayo Perico update, or at least mine are anyway. I don't know about everyone else. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments. But I do think that nothing has compared to a good GTA Online update like Cayo Perico, or even the Casino Heist or the Doomsday Heist or anything like that. I don't think they've had anything like that for a long time now. But of course, we all know why that is. They're preparing for, of course, Grand Theft Auto 6. I assume that every update ready for GTA Online from now on is just going to get smaller. I would expect that to be the case. I completely understand that's going to be the case. To be honest, for the game to still be receiving updates, like I mentioned earlier, it's really, really impressive. It's just a bit disappointing that some of the updates are, in my opinion, nowhere near as fun as previous ones. But yeah, of course, my expectations were very, very high. And yeah, I don't think that all of this is a bad thing. Having smaller updates isn't the end of the world at all. I shouldn't really be moaning that much about it. But I do think, obviously, yeah, they're just a bit boring, to be honest. I haven't really had any sort of significant enjoyment with this update. I've sort of played the new missions, thought, no, that's cool. Bought the new jet, flown around in that for a bit, trying out this new vehicle for a bit, and that's about it, to be honest. I think that, you know, it takes me about 3 hours, and I'm like, oh yeah, I sort of played everything that I can on release day, and that's about that. And to be honest, a new vehicle coming out on a Thursday doesn't really interest me enough to make me actually want to play the game. And I don't play as much GTA Online as I used to, but I think that's the case with most people, to be honest. But either way, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. The updates are going to get smaller as we get closer to GTA 6, which I guess will release in 2024, 2025, probably sometime around then. So yeah, I really don't have any sort of issues with the updates getting smaller until then. It's going to happen. It's what we have to expect to happen. And of course, one day it's not going to get any updates anymore. But I do just want to make this video talking about how I do think that, you know, GTA Online updates are pretty boring these days. They're not really as fun as they used to be, in my opinion. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this down in the comments below, and what your opinion is on the new Los Santos Mercenaries DLC in GTA Online, and whether you've been playing it a lot since it has released. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts on that down in the comments below. But yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. Now, on screen now, you are seeing a link to a different video. Hit the link on the screen if you are interested in watching that.